Hello everyone, you are welcome back to my channel. In my previous videos, I drafted the pattern of the male native trousers, popularly called Sokoto. In today's video, I will be transferring the pattern onto the fabric, sew the pieces together nicely with side pockets. And if you are new on this channel, this is Reggie School of Fashion, a fashion academy based in Lagos, Nigeria. We offer intensive and effective training on fashion courses through both physical and online medium. If you are planning of taking a fashion as a career, Reggie School of Fashion is here to take you through the journey. The link to our website is in the description box for more inquiries. And in case you missed the drafting part of this video, the link to the videos is in the description box as well. So guys, let's go straight into the video. In constructing my trousers, I will be transferring the following pattern onto the fabric: the front panel, the back panel, and the pocket sack. For the front panel, I'll be cutting out 2 pieces. The back panel will be in 2 pieces as well. The same thing, the pocket sack. The pocket sack is going to be in 2 pieces, one for the right hand side and the other for the left hand side. Now I've laid my pattern on the fabric, as you can see, and I pinned it together. Also for the pocket sack, I'm making use of my leftover fabric for the pocket sack because I don't have my fabric in excess. But if you have your own fabric in excess, you can make use of the same fabric for the pocket sack. Now I will proceed in cutting out the fabric. As you can see, I've cut out my fabric. The next step is to make the necessary notches. So I will make a notch on the trouser length. On both sides. On the knee length. On the other side of the crotch. Then on the waistline. Because this is the front panel, I will make notches to know where the pocket's mouth will be. So from the edge of the fabric, I will measure 4 inches downward and mark the point. So from the 4 inches point, I will measure 7 inches downward. The 7 inches is for the pocket's mouth. This is a standard measurement. And I will notch the 2 points. The 4 inches point and the 7 inches point. So I'm done with the front panel. So for the back panel, I'll be making the necessary notches I made on the front panel as well, except the pocket's mouth, because there's no pockets on the back panel. Now I'm done with the notches, so I can separate the pattern from the fabric. So the next step is to attach the pockets on the front panel. The pocket is going to be on the other side of the front panel and not on the crotch side. So before doing that, I will have to work on my pocket sack. On the pocket sack edge, I will come down by 1 inch. So my pocket sack is under the front panel, as you can see. Then I'll place the 4 inches point I marked earlier on the front panel to align on the 1 inch point on the pocket sack. So I'll be trimming off this side to get the shape on the front panel on the pocket sack. So on the pocket mouth, I will measure 1/4 of an inch, mark the point. So I'm marking 1/4 from 4 inch up to the 7 inch point. So in attaching the pocket sack, I will place the right side of the pocket sack facing the right side of the front panel. So this is the right side of the front panel and this is the wrong side. The marked side is the wrong side. So the right side of my pocket sack facing the right side of the front panel. And I'll make sure the notches align. So the 1-inch point on the pocket sack has to align with the 4-inch point on the front panel. This way, I'll place it this way, making sure the edges align. Then stitch on 1/4 points which I marked out. I'm stitching from this point up to the 7 inches point. So the next step is to flip the pocket sack to the right side of the fabric, and in doing that I will have to top stitch on the right side. The top stitching will allow the pocket sack to flip easily and to lay flat on the edge. So I will turn up the seam allowance this way facing the pocket sack. Then I will top stitch very close to the stitches. And I will repeat the same process on the other side. So after stitching, I will flip the pocket sack over to the wrong side of the front panel. This way. Then I'm going to stitch the bottom of the pocket sack in a curve manner. I'm going to make a curve. From this center, I will go up by 2 inches, then stitch round up to the edge and turn it inward. Now I've top stitched on the pocket mouth, and this is the result after top stitching. So this is it after top stitching. Then I've given it a press for the pocket mouth to stay firm, as you can see. Then I finished the bottom side of the pocket sack, and this is the result after finishing the bottom side. Then I gave it a press for me to have the center of the pocket, as you can see. And I did the same thing on the other leg of the front panel. So once this is done, the next step is to join the front panel with the back panel. So I'm going to join from the waistline, align the two this way. This is the front panel and this is the back panel. The right side of the back panel must face the right side of the front panel. Then I will arrange it this way, then stitch on the same side and not on the crotch side. I'm going to join from the waistline up to the hemline, making sure the notches align. And also the pocket sack, when you are doing yours, make sure you did not stitch on the pocket mouth. When you get to the pocket side, align it this way. This pocket mouth, you push it inward rather. You push the pocket mouth inward. Then join with one side of the pocket sack. So after the pocket mouth, then you can continue joining the two pocket sack together with the back panel. So let me go to my sewing machine and join it so that I can show you. Now I've joined one of the back piece and one of the front piece together, and this is the result. So this is one leg and this is a pocket. This is a pocket. Now I'm going to repeat the same process to the other pieces, one of the front piece and one of the back piece. Now I've joined the remaining pieces together and this is the result. This is the pocket, as you can see, and this is for one leg, this is for the other leg. So the next step is to join the two legs together, the right side facing the right side. Then I'll align it this way. So this is for the back. So I'm going to stitch from the waistline, this point, downward with half an inch up to the crotch point. So for the front crotch, I've marked the half an inch from the waistline up to the crotch depth. So I will stitch from the edge from the waistline up to the 1 inch mark. So when I get to this 1 inch mark, I will stop and come down by 1 inch and start stitching from the 1 inch point. This space is to insert the elastic rope. So let me do that. So as you can see, I'm done with the stitching. I stitched from the waistline up to the 1 inch point. Then from this 1 inch point, I came down by 1 inch and I started sewing from the 1 inch point downward up to the crotch point. So the next step is to notch on the 1 inch point up to the seam line. And this is the result. So once that is done, I will open it up this way and I'm going to make a French seam here. Open it up this way, then fold this inward, the same allowance. I'll fold it inward and stitch from this point up to the end, and the same thing on the other side. So let me do that. So I'm done with the top stitching, as you can see, and this is the space where the elastic rope will pass through. And for this, by the time I'm ready to put in the elastic rope, once I fold it this way and fold it twice again, so I will have this space here and there's no need of closing after inserting the rope. So the next step is to top stitch on the remaining stitches from this 1 inch point up to the crotch depth, and I will make it a flat felt seam. So once I'm done stitching the front crotch, the next step is to stitch the back crotch as well. So I'm going to align it this way, then stitch from the waistline up to the crotch depth. So after stitching, I will top stitch and make it a flat felt seam, just the way I did to the front crotch. I have joined the back crotch together and I've made it a flat seam. So this is the right side. This is the right side for the front, and this is the right side for the back. So the next step is to join the inseam together. So I'll be joining the inseam together this way. I'm going to start stitching from the hemline. From this edge, I will measure half of my ankle, half of the ankle measurement. So from that point, then I will stitch from the hemline upward, go straight this way, align the notches up to the crotch. Then from the crotch, I will stitch it downward up to the other side of the leg of the trousers. This is the other side, and I will stitch it downward up to this edge. Now I've joined the two inseams together for both legs of the trousers. So from the hemline up to the other side of the trousers. So the next step is to hem the lower parts of the trousers and also the band, the waistline. I'm going to hem the waistline this way. I'm folding in with 2 inches, then fold in one more time. So after stitching, I'm going to stitch all around the waistline, then insert the elastic rope into the trousers, then hem the lower part of the trousers, that is the trousers mouth. I will fold it in the amount of the allowance I added. I will fold it in, fold it this way, then fold it inward once more, then stitch it around, stitch all around. Then the same process on the other leg. I will fold it inward with the amount of allowance I added, then fold it and fold once more, to finish the edge, and I will stitch all around. Now I've hemmed the waistline. This is the waistline of the trousers, and this is the lower part. I've hemmed the lower part, which is going to rest on the ankle. So the last step is to insert the elastic rope. So I will insert the elastic rope and give it a good press, and I will show you the results. We've come to the end of this video. If this video has been helpful, don't forget to like, share and subscribe to my channel. And if you are planning to take fashion as a career, Reggie School of Fashion is the best option. Because at Reggie School of Fashion, we don't only teach our students, but also inspire them to take maximum advantage in the fashion industry. Thank you guys for watching. See you in my next videos. Bye.